Welcome. So right now we're going to be doing question 13, and read the call of the question carefully. I'll do it right now. Owner owned a house in city. A storm sewer owned and operated by city ran under part of owner's house. Water from the sewer escaped into the basement of owner's house, flooding the basement and causing substantial damage. The jurisdiction in which city is located has abolished governmental tort immunity. Now, if owner asserts a claim against the city, the basis which owner is most likely to prevail is A, B, C, or D. And A says negligence if the sewer was improperly constructed and maintained, or B, strict liability because the water escaped from the city sewer main, or C, strict liability and tort if the sewer main was defective, and D, nuisance because the owner's use and enjoyment of his house was interfered with. Now pause it if you don't want to hear the answer and explanation. If you're not ready, pause it. I'm going to tell you the answer now. The best answer is A. Now the reason it's A is because look carefully, it says that the owner's in a jurisdiction in which the city has abolished the governmental tort immunity. That's number one. Now look at the context. What are we talking about? We're talking about a service, a sewer owned and operated by the city that's running under the house, right? Now they have an easement for that, obviously. It's, under the land. And some water got into his basement and it caused some damage. So now, if he takes the city to the court, since um, they don't have governmental immunity, he's going to take. When he files, he has to know how to file for the right claim. Now, if you look at strict liability and nuisance, okay, how is that? If you look at the elements of nuisance, okay, let's look at the elements of a nuisance. Well, let's see. I'm going to look at my outline. A nuisance usually is something that's these are defenses right here. Let me show you. So anyway, you've got three theories in tort. You've got intentional, negligent, and strict liability. So when you look at the strict liability, you're going to look at product liability and wild animal. And there's intentional, negligent, and with nuisance you have public nuisance and you have private nuisance. But the thing about that is it's something that just happened kind of like more or less, it wasn't something ongoing, okay? It just all of a sudden it flooded the basement. And so if they want to bring something against them, they would probably pick negligence because this is not like a product that they bought. It's not. So when you look at product liability, right? Let's look at strict liability. Wait a minute. Those are the defenses. So basically, with negligence, the defendant's breach of duty of care owed to the plaintiff, which is actual and proximate cause of the plaintiff's damages. So, if you can show that it was improperly constructed or maintained, that's the one that they're most likely to prevail under. If you start going after them for strict liability, you're going to have a problem because basically that is not a product that's brought into the stream of commerce. Okay? And as far as a nuisance go, it's a service thing that's running under there. This is an attractive nuisance, but usually with a nuisance, it's something that someone else owns the land. It's a landowner, and they're having an easement under this person's land or near it. And it's not, it's kind of like an intervening force. Something happened that made it, you know. So, so you've got negligence per se, where statute creates a duty, and you violate the statute. I'm just kind of like going over this, to kind of give you a feel for what's going on with your rules. But basically, with products liability, here's my little thing on the products liability. Manufacturers are liable for to all foreseeable plaintiffs which result from a defect in the design, the manufacturer, warning on the product they place in the stream of commerce. Now, if you look at stream of commerce, what does that mean? It doesn't mean a stream running under your house or a sewer under your house. It just means, it's something that's going through. Now, also with a product's liability, a plaintiff can seek recovery under the theories of strict liability and tort, which are implied warranty, negligence, and in product liability suits, there must be a proper plaintiff and a proper defendant. Now, strict liability and tort, any party that causes a product to enter the stream of commerce may be held strictly liable. Liability imposed without regard to fact. So you've got this whole thing's the implied warranty, and re ipsa loquitur, you know what that means. The thing speaks for itself. And when a plaintiff's harm wouldn't have occurred without someone else's negligence, the source of the negligence is within the scope of duty of care owed to the defendant, and the plaintiff and the third party had not caused the plaintiff's harm. Breach may be inferred. So causation, you got to show actual and proximate cause, and then you got to show the damages. And so if you're going to bring a lawsuit for a nuisance, private or public, a defendant's non-trespassory interference with the plaintiff's enjoyment of use of their land. Well, is water coming in kind of trespassory? I mean, it's just kind of like the best, thing is negligence. Okay, we're going to move on to the next one. I might not get to it till tomorrow because it's 10 o'clock and I've got stuff to do, so I might not get over to the other ones till tomorrow. I'll see.